Hi, my name's Peter Moore, and Tom and I were not only good friends, but good golfing buddies. We played a lot together. And when Prairie Home called and asked if I would come to this tonight and tell a few stories about golfing with Tom, some funny stories, there aren't any. Tom was a great deal of fun to play with. He was a lot of fun to play with, but there weren't any particularly funny incidences. There weren't any particularly great stories about that time we were on the course. But what there was, Tom sometimes used to warm up for Prairie Home by taking a plastic wiffle ball, a golf ball, and hitting it into the balcony. So that's what I thought I'd do. So, get ready up there. Oh, I did think of one story. It's just, you know, sometimes when you were putting, you know, it'd all get very quiet, and a plane would go overhead, and Tom would yell, "Hold, please!" So, but that was it. That was all. Scary. All right. And one more. Also, when you were putting, if you had a really long putt, you know, one of those putts where you had to dial 1 before you putted, I mean, you were just a long way away. As the ball was rolling toward the hole, he would make the sound of the ball going into the hole to encourage the putt. All right. It's just distracting every time I think of this. Alan Freckman pointed out that often when we were golfing, you were a threesome. Alan and Tom and I perhaps would play, and a stranger would join us. And invariably, somebody, you know, he would say, "Well, what do you guys do?" And of course, I'd you know, read him my resume. "Yes, I'm in this right now, and I'm doing that, and I happen to be doing this." And he'd go, "Uh-huh." And he'd say to Tom, "What do you do?" And Tom would say, "I'm in radio." Walk away. Leaving it to me and Alan to say, "That's Tom Keith. You've heard him a million times. You've heard him on the..." He didn't want any of that attention. When they were shooting the Prairie Home movie here, I said, we were on the course, and I said, "Are there any big stars in that movie?" I said, "Any divas in the cast?" He said, "Just one, me." All right, here we go. No fooling around. Shakespeare said action is eloquence. So... Can I have a mulligan? Tom was always good about that. If you needed another shot.